Well, good morning. I hope you're doing well. In motorcycling, we often discuss this phrase. It's more fun to ride a slow bike fast than it is to ride a fast bike slow. But is that really true? Well, after 8 years of riding, I have to say I agree. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why. And to demonstrate, I've got the absolute best of the best when it comes to slow motorcycles, which is this, the 2025 Honda Grom.
Well, I have to come clean. I actually owned one of these for about 1.5 years. I rode it to work every day, about 20 minutes, including some highway actually. And I absolutely loved it. And I'm not the only one, because ever since this thing came out, Honda has sold over 750,000 Groms. So yeah, clearly I'm not alone in loving this thing. So let's get on to the reasons why this Honda Grom proves that slower motorcycles are more fun. And first off, as you can see, we're on a nice twisty road. It's very tight, visibility isn't great, there's gravel on the road, there's people here. But you can just use everything, like every little thing, every little horsepower, every little bit of the brakes, every inch of tire tread you have. You can just chuck it in and use it and have so much fun. And the beautiful thing about it is, I don't think I've gone over 80 kilometers an hour today. But yeah, second reason, just the sheer affordability of slower bikes in general and the Honda Grom. So when I used to own this thing, I remember tires, 2 tires cost me 80 euros. I remember changing tires on one of my other bikes, it was 500 or 600 euros for some Michelins. On this thing, 80 euros. Oil, less than a liter. Again, I changed the oil on my other bike, my own bike, the other week. It took 4 liters. Of course, it's only a single cylinder, so it's only got 1 spark plug. And it's so easy to work on yourself. Like, I've never been that mechanically inclined, just a little bit. But I remember when I bought my own Grom and I rode it to work every day. Of course, you rack up some miles and you have to do some maintenance. And I think honestly it's one of the easiest bikes to work on. It's an air-cooled single cylinder. And it's so small, everything is accessible, there's no panels in the way. I promise I'll bring it back in one piece. Knock on wood. Next great point on the Grom, every traffic light becomes a drag strip. Potential downside, this bike is so light and so small, I don't know if the traffic lights recognize it as a vehicle at all. So we might be here for a while until someone else comes behind us and triggers the light. And we're off! Oh, 50, 60, 70, 80. And now I have to tell you a little story about the road we're entering right now. Wee, wee. This is the Kromme Meidrecht. I've been here in another video before. But this road is pretty notorious for having all these signs where it says like, motorcyclists beware, motorcycles calm down, and leave us alone and stuff like that. Because in Holland we don't have that many nice roads. A lot of the motorcyclists flock to the same ones, and that can cause a bit of irritation. Mind the baby. That can cause a bit of irritation with the residents who live by this beautiful piece of land or water. But on the Grom, because it's so cute and so tiny, and everybody loves this, people aren't upset as easily when you hoon this thing around. Like, you can behave like an absolute jobbo on this thing, and most people either don't care or they're smiling, you know. Whoop, 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 whoop. Left, right, full throttle, shift gear, everywhere. Oh yeah, another huge upside, also adding to the running cost. This thing pretty much uses no fuel. So I've done about 100 kilometers on this bike this far, and it's indicating 40 kilometers per liter. That's literally, it's almost nothing. Like, it has to be the most economical bike I've ever ridden. Oh, look at this. Whoop. Oh, this isn't even like caffeine making me this energized, it's just the bike. Oh, I want the Grom again. Honda, why you do this to me? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Ooh, big brakes and an in. Honestly, there is no more fun you can have on a motorcycle on the road like this. Oh, this brings back so many good memories. Me and my friends just after school hooning our Groms over this road. And I have to applaud Honda for the execution of this bike, because it would have been pretty easy to make this just cheap and not a seriously good motorcycle. But I'm 6 foot, 185 centimeters, and I just fit on this thing. Like, I had the BMW K1600 last week, which is their flagship touring motorcycle, 1600 cc's, 6 cylinders, absolutely massive. Oh, gravel and a cyclist. And although it was very comfortable, the seat height was really low and I was actually a bit cramped on that thing. Whereas on the Grom, I have actually a surprisingly large amount of leg room, and the handlebar comes up quite a good way. So, oh, what the fuck is that parking spot? Fucking idiot. Blind corner and just park your car in there. Ah, brilliant, brilliant. And other than the fact that it is slow and small, all the controls work so well. So the brakes are pretty strong. You have ABS on the front, so if you need it, it will save you. But there isn't ABS on the rear, so if you want, you can also play around with some slidey boys, slidey corners. Drifting it in, backing it in, whatever you want to do in your Grom. The suspension works surprisingly well. It gives you a decent amount of confidence to just chuck it in like this. The clutch is really light. I mean, you could do it with your pinky, because what would you expect from such a bike? The gearbox is very sweet. I remember on my bike I could do clutchless shifting up and down, no problem, like all day, every day, and it was so satisfying. So that's really nice, because you are going to be up and down the box a lot. Yeah, it's just nice that it is so fun to use. Rev matching is easy, and take note of this fence over here, because I mentioned a friend of mine had a Grom, right? Well, a story behind that is, he actually borrowed it on a rental platform, the same rental platform I use. And oh, bump. His friend actually crashed it through that very fence. And they had to buy the bike off of the insurance, or at least they chose to buy the bike off the insurance instead of paying it off. So that's the story of how he got his Grom. It's funny to ride here. I always remember that. We get to do this road again. And then the fact that there's no cars here. Oh, look at the turning radius. Oh, oh, what a lovely, lovely, lovely day. Whoop. Whoa. Gotta get me a Grom. Oh, full throttle, full tuck. Still legal, everyone. Not breaking any laws over here. So I just think everyone should at least ride one of these as an experience, to learn on, whatever, to have fun. But just owning one is so, it's just such an easy decision to make, you know. It's so, just the affordability of it, everything. It's one of the few motorcycles I still look at and think, yeah, I'd buy that again. And I mean, I am lucky enough to be riding a lot of bikes this year. And I've ridden a lot of bikes over the last while because I'm doing YouTube now, and thankfully manufacturers are starting to take me more seriously and giving me press bikes. And then of course I ride these great things, very expensive, very exotic, very nice, and it's not the flex, but I don't see myself like owning any of those bikes because they are just expensive and exotic and just a lot, you know. And this thing, it's attainable and it's so much fun. It just puts a smile on your face. It makes so much sense. Even when you're just a normal person, like I can afford a Practicality or a K1600 or a GS or whatever. And I don't think a lot of people can, you know. It's always kind of hard to justify spending that amount of money on what for a lot of us is just a hobby or something we do out of fun or out of passion. And I just think this thing delivers so much for so little. I just gotta give you one more reason. Like, look at this. Traffic, no problem. I used to face some pretty heavy traffic on my commutes, but on the Grom it was just basically filtering is made fun. It's basically just one big Moto Gymkhana course. Whoop. So I just wanted to take a second to show you around this new 2025 Grom. As I mentioned before, I have the Gen 2, so the generation before this. New styling, so you have different headlights, which is like a mix between the first and the second generation. You have this little belly pan, you have some new graphics, different tank shape. The seat is a bit longer, at least it feels that way, because this area is quite small. Huge ass license plate holder, which you have to just take off of there the second you buy a bike like this. Yeah, overall I do think it looks really cute. I'm not sure if I like it more than the older generations. The second generation was really compact and really small and really sporty. The first generation just had its own charm with like the blobby headlight. But I do think those were just a little bit better proportioned, because I feel just like this seating area on this new model is just a little bit too long. And yeah. So which generation of Grom do you prefer? Please let me know in the comments. And now I'm gonna get back on this thing and talk about some of the downsides of a small bike and the Grom in particular. And of course, if there's ever been a motorcycle close to perfection, it's gotta be the Grom. But there is of course a reason why we're not all riding around on 125cc mini bikes, and I think a road like this obviously demonstrates why. I mean, sometimes you do actually need more power if you want to go long distances on a motorcycle, have some luggage on the back, have a pillion. Of course, that also opens up an all different kind of fun you can have on a motorcycle, being able to share your experience with a partner or a friend or whatever. And of course, travel is always very appealing. So I mean, you can do it on a Grom, and I would love to do it on a Grom, and I might actually do it on a Grom. Please let me know if you'd like to see that. Like, I have this little idea in my head where I might want to ride a Grom or a Honda Monkey either to Scotland or to the Arctic Circle in Norway, like all the way up north, and do a bunch of wild camping along the way, just to show it can be done, and because it would be a crazy adventure. So yeah, let me know if you'd like to see that. And I'll see if I can get Honda to agree, if I can get them to sign off on that. But getting back to the slow bike, more fun part. Of course, I have to admit, sometimes power can be fun. Like, there's a time and a place for everything, and sometimes 70 horsepower, 150 horsepower. I mean, obviously you can't use it everywhere all the time, but sometimes it is a lot of fun. And twisting the throttle, getting that adrenaline rush. I mean, it's part of how we ride. Right. Look at this. Ooh, lean off to the left, full throttle, 97 kilometers an hour. Oh, I mean, I'm basically Marc Marquez at this point. But yeah, power. It's just sometimes it's fun, and there is an appropriate amount of power on the street. Personally, I think about 70-ish horsepower is like the perfect number. where you can still use a lot of it. You can go through the gears without losing your license, without going crazy speeds, but still fast enough to excite and to have fun with, you know. Let's see if we can overtake this guy. No, there's a truck coming. Also another downside. You can't make overtakes wherever you want. Okay, this is a big one. I'll slow down for this one. Good boy. If you can't tell, I'm having a lot of fun today. Whoop. I'm gonna be honest, this wasn't the best week for me personally. Some stuff happened, but on the Grom, on a sunny day, life is just good.
Alright, so where does that leave us? Well, I'm never usually the biggest fan of telling you that buying a certain product or spending money on something is going to make you happy. But to be honest, these haven't been the easiest weeks or months of my life, and sometimes it can get quite stressful and quite anxious. But to be honest, today on the Grom, on the sunny day, on the nice roads, I forgot all about all of that. And yeah, I just think that's what motorcycling is pretty much all about. I remember when I was like 16 and I first got my moped, as I mentioned before. Yeah, I also had some stuff going on in my life, and I would just go out at night or in the evening, as you can see, like this, when the sun was shining, or even when it wasn't. And yeah, just clear your head and do something completely different, something you always love. And I don't know, the Grom just brings that feeling back to me. So yeah, as I just said, I don't want to say you have to buy this bike to be happy or anything, but it certainly helps, and it's definitely put a smile on my face today. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me today. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you had as good a day as I have on this little friendly little Grom. Have a nice day.